Broadcasting live from the Albay PIO News Center, providing you the most exclusive news update from all over the province. This is 12 o'clock Newsbreak. In the local scene, the Municipal Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Office, MDRRMO of Libon, is calling for psychosocial interventions for children due to the mental strain caused by the impact of tropical depression Christine. According to Ian James S. Siciliano, MDRRM officer, their office is now coordinating with the provincial government of Albay and various non-government organizations to implement psychosocial support programs, specifically for children. Siciliano also emphasized that children should be prioritized during disasters and aftermath to help them cope with the challenges brought by the calamities. It can be recalled that training of trainers in mental health and psychosocial support has already been conducted for school disaster risk reduction and management coordinators. However, the council is now focusing on children's mental health to aid in their recovery from the recent typhoon's effect. In other story, United Nations Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs, UNOCHA, in collaboration with the Albay Public Safety and Emergency Management Office, is looking to adopt a multi-sectoral approach for recovery and rehabilitation efforts in the province following severe tropical storm Christine. According to Melinde B. Malang, Humanitarian Affairs Officer from UNOCHA, various international and local non-government organizations are set to craft a comprehensive plan to address the gaps in assistance for the most severely affected areas. Priority municipalities identified included Uwas, Libon, Pulangi, Ginobatan, Tiwi, and Villar. This initiative follows a recent resource mapping conducted with international and local civic organizations, which aim to assess the current interventions and identify additional support needed by the affected communities. Meanwhile, these organizations continue to provide humanitarian aid, particularly in flood distribution and shelter repair, to assist those still recovering from the impact of Typhoon Christine. In the national scene, the Office of the Civil Defense OCD announced on Wednesday that the government is prepared to tackle the impact of upcoming typhoons, despite facing unprecedented challenges from recent storms. To enhance relief efforts, the OCD is deploying additional response teams from less affected areas, including personnel from the Armed Forces, Bureau of Fire Protection, and Coast Guard. With a trained workforce of 20,000 across over 1,800 teams nationwide, officials believe they are ready to assist. OCD Chief Ariel Nepomuceno highlighted the rollout of psychosocial interventions for affected communities and confirmed that President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. has committed to increasing funds for disaster support through the Department of Social Welfare and Development. As the nation prepares for typhoon, Nepomuceno emphasized the need to bolster the country's disaster readiness and address staff fatigue in evacuation centers. In other story, the Philippines has secured $24.9 million grant from the World Bank and the FAO to enhance its pandemic response capabilities. This funding is part of the larger $547 million pandemic fund grant aimed at improving disease surveillance and laboratory systems across 50 countries. The grant will support the Resilient Philippines project, which implements One Health approach to address the interconnection of human, animal, and environmental health, which aims to strengthen early warning systems, laboratory infrastructure, and develop a skilled health workforce. The FAO stressed the urgency of this initiative, highlighting the Philippines' persistent vulnerability due to the biodiversity decline and related health risks. The pandemic fund was initiated by the G20 in 2022 to bolster the resilience of nations most at risk following the disruptions caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. In other news, in a hearing at the House Quad Committee yesterday, Surigao del Norte 2nd District Representative Robert Ace Barbers indicated that the session was held to make the most of former President Rodrigo Duterte's anticipated presence. Duterte arrived at the Batasang Pambansa complex at 9:57 a.m. alongside his former spokesperson Salvador Panelo. The Quad Committee hearing was initially uncertain due to the need for further review of the testimonies, yet supporters urged the committee to proceed as they believed Duterte was prepared to testify. Duterte has recently been implicated in discussions surrounding his administration's drug war, with former police officials revealing irregularities which retired Colonel Royina Garma brought attention to a reward system associated with police operations against drug suspects. Duterte had previously admitted to creating a hit squad during his time as mayor of Davao City, but later retracted that statement during Senate inquiries. And in the news outside the country, air pollution in Punjab, Pakistan has reportedly affected 1.8 million individuals in the past month, according to health officials. Schools across the province have been ordered to close for 5 days to safeguard children's health amidst worsening smog conditions. With a population of 127 million, Punjab has been battling severe air quality issues, particularly in Lahore and surrounding districts, where hospitals have been inundated with patients suffering respiratory ailments and eye irritations. In response to the hazardous pollution levels, officials have closed all parks and museums for 10 days. The Environmental Protection Department highlighted Multan as the province's most polluted city, with alarming air quality index readings near 700, well above the 300 threshold deemed dangerous. As the situation escalates, the Punjab government is exploring methods including artificial rainfall to mitigate the pollution crisis and urging citizens to limit travel and mandate using of face masks. And finally, in the news outside the country, according to state media, an Iranian man, Muhammad Ali Salamat, convicted of raping dozens of women over 2 decades, has been publicly executed. Salamat, 43 years old, was hanged at dawn in Hamidan after approximately 200 women accused him of his crimes, including rapes occurring after marriage proposals. His arrest in January led to public demands for capital punishments, and Iran's history of execution for such crimes has drawn criticisms from human rights groups. And that's all for the 12 o'clock news break, November 14, 2024. We'll be right back tomorrow for more news updates. And thanks to our 12 o'clock news break writer, Albay Lurejo and Tres Padilla. And on the technical side, Chad Bobis. And of course, our Provincial Information Officer, Mary Luduca Castillo. And under the supervision of our Governor, Glenn Daong Bungao, ingat po tayong lahat sa paparating na malakas na bagyo, si Pepito. Ingat po tayo. I am Greg Hallare, and thank you for subscribing.